What's up, y'all? It's your girl T. Louise, and you are tuned in to Twisted 20s. What's up, y'all? We are back. I'm finna hit y'all with part 2 of the series Plant, Nurture, and Heal. So yeah, we finna get into it. So I know last week I started off with part 1 of this series. And if you have not listened to part 1, you can find part 1 on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you are listening to this podcast on. You can find it on there right before this one. So last week I am going to give you guys a little recap of what we talked about, because I cannot talk about part 2 without talking about part 1. So part 1 was about planting in your life. And I know I kept it very short and sweet. But I have, this week I've been going through a lot of things. I just got back from a trip with Girl Mob in Vegas on a buying trip. For my business, and just, meeting all different type of vendors and just different people. And that event within itself was me planting into my life. And when I say that I was planting, I mean I went to something that could create, and that is going to build for my business, that is going to help me build connections with other businesses. And things like that. So that is a seed that I have planted into my life. So with that being said, episode 2 is nurture. And this is the part where a lot of people start to give up, especially if they're starting a business, if they're starting anything like that. It gets really hard. I know a lot of times social media kind of makes us think that things happen overnight. And a lot of things on social media we not really, people don't really show you the blood, sweat, and tears that's really being put in. So a lot of times you just see the glitz and the glam and all that. But before all of that, like, it was years and years, months before any of that happened. So when people get into something, and then especially if you don't really have a passion for it. If you don't have a passion, like some people think, oh, okay, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to run a business. And then they start it and then they don't finish. Or they started and they don't continue with it because it's not a passion there. Like, literally, you have to constantly be thinking of ideas for your business. You have to be constantly learning and finding out ways to promote your business, because when you're starting a business, you start from scratch. Yeah, you may know some people, but give or take, how many of those people that you know are really going to truly support you? So when you start a business, you literally starting from scratch. So in the midst of starting that business, like, you have to do so many things, and it could be really anything. It could be a YouTube, it could be growing whatever type of business page you have on Instagram. Like, it could be any of that. And I think people think that sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we get discouraged. And I know, because these are feelings that I have felt, especially like with wanting to start YouTube, and put myself out there on Instagram for my business and things like that. Sometimes we can get discouraged because, oh, well, we're not making any sales, or you're not getting any views, or you're not getting any new followers. And sometimes those things could be discouraging, but at the end of the day, like, you have to keep pushing, because the people that we follow on Instagram that are influencers, they didn't grow their following overnight. Their video didn't go viral overnight. You know, they put in years and years and years of work, and who's to say that you can't go viral over a year? But I'm just saying, like, they put in the work. They didn't give up because they didn't get any views. They didn't give up because, oh, they didn't get any subscribers. They didn't give up because nobody bought their products. You know, they kept going. So that is what I mean when I say nurture your seeds. If you started a business, get you some merchandise. If you want to start some t-shirts, you can go on what's that website called, Custom Ink, and you can design your own t-shirts and print it up. If you don't even want to do that, you can design you some shirts and find somebody to do it for cheaper and print the shirt. Like, if y'all need somebody, I know somebody that will literally, like, $20 a shirt. So, and you ain't gotta buy no large inventory. You can go out and you can get 5 shirts, 10 shirts, whatever amount that you can afford, and you get that, and you find people, hey, can you take a picture in this shirt? Can I send you my shirt? Can I send you my product in the mail? Or whatever that may be. Now you said, okay, you sowed the seeds, you started your business. Okay, so that was step 1. You got some t-shirts drawn up. But now you have to keep working towards that, whether that may be, okay, you work a regular job, but you started your business on the side. What can you do to nurture the seeds that you have started? You started your business. Every check, I'm gonna get a new shirt made. I'm gonna get 5 shirts made, 6 shirts made, whatever it is that, like I said, whatever it is that you can afford. Start making small. It don't have to be grand. And then, like, sooner or later, people gonna start catching on, and then that's when you can start printing on demand. But like I said, that's another conversation for another day. Printing on demand and all of that. I'll probably do that on my YouTube. So if y'all are not following me on my YouTube, please do that. If you follow me on Instagram at IAM.TLouise, you can find my YouTube, The Major Comeback. You can find everything about me, everything I'm doing on my Instagram. So like I'm saying, like, you start out small, and even if it's 1 shirt and you promoting that shit, if it's 1 shirt and you promoting it, it don't matter. Like, you should be like my best friend. He got to a point where he was real dedicated about his business, but it got hard. You know, I asked him all the time, when are you going to start? What's up? What's up with the business? What's up with the designs? And I tell him, he always gives me an excuse. So if he's listening to this, I just told him what he can do. Like, we spend our money so unwisely, and I'm guilty of this too. Like, very guilty. And we spend our money. This tax season is coming up, so we need to be more mindful with what we're getting ready to do with our money. So this is the time, if you know that you got a brand that you want to put out, this is the time to get started on it. I really am. I'm gonna do a video on my Instagram about how to set up a Shopify store, how to get started with your business. I'm gonna do all of this. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube. So if you are not following me on YouTube, please follow me. If you are trying to start a business this year, if you are trying to boss up, literally start a business, learn how to do your own t-shirt designs, learn how to get the stuff printed up, I will literally give you a printer. Like, I can literally tell you who prints my shirts. I have designs that they have done for me before. So this is something that I'm going to put up for y'all so that y'all can see how y'all can get started too. So, like I said, that's another episode, another podcast for another day. But those little things can go so far. So think about if you're nurturing. You're nurturing the seed that you started. So you started your business. You're investing in your business. You're getting t-shirts drawn up. you're sending them to influencers. You're sending them, you got your people around the city wearing them. You got your people on their Instagram promoting it. Those are nurturing. That's nurturing yourself, nurturing your business. So imagine what that's gonna do. Episode 3. I'm serious. Part 3 of this series is plant, nurture, and heal. When I say heal, I'm talking about growth. Because in the midst of all of this, everything that's going on, you planting into your life new things are going to start to shed. You're going to lose people. You're going to outgrow people mentally, financially. I have friends from high school. I love them truly and dearly, but I love them from a distance because where I'm going, they're not going. But I know, if they need me, I'm here. If you need to talk about something, I'm here. But as far as, oh, let's hang out, let's do something, no, because you're not trying to boss up how I'm trying to boss up. And I've offered, but I've realized that I've got to be the one to do it. I got to be the one to show the people that are in my lives, you can do this shit too. Like, it's hard, y'all. It's hard. But this is when you start nurturing into your life. So in the midst of nurturing, starting a business, like you lose people. You lose people. You start to grow when you start nurturing yourself. And another thing is when nurturing yourself can include in the mornings, instead of looking at your phone, why don't you sit quietly, just sit in silence. Like I used to, first thing in the morning, I want to look at my phone. Like, instead of allowing all that into your mind, all those people, all those comments, all those headlines, instead of letting all that into your mind, first thing in the morning, nurture yourself. Drink some water, sit in silence, and just allow your body to fully wake up before you allow all those negativity, all those negative things into your mind. Just sit in silence. That's just something that I'm practicing more of. I like to drink tea when I sit in silence. I used to not like tea, y'all, but I have discovered that I actually love tea. And another thing is continue to say your affirmations. Continue to tell yourself, I am successful. I have a wealthy life. I am deserving of wealth. I am deserving of love. I am deserving of success. Whatever it is that you want in your life, I am deserving of having a business. I am worthy to have a business. Whatever it is, if you feel insecure, I am secure in my life in all aspects. I love myself. I love myself. Like, continue with your affirmations in the mornings. With that being said, that is nurturing. So keep at it. Keep at it. Whatever it is that you are going at, keep going. I know that you can do it, because y'all, let me tell y'all, I didn't believe when I first started my stuff. I didn't fully 100% believe in my business or my podcast. And I didn't 100% see the vision for it. So along the way, along my journey, along the growth, I am starting to see more of a bigger picture for my podcast, for my brand, because it's not just a brand, it's a movement. Like, I am 100% giving myself a major comeback, y'all. Like, I cannot express that enough. Literally in 2018, I was sleeping in the car with my mom. My mom passed away. I didn't have $1 to my name. I was sleeping in a hotel. My only option was to go, after I left the hotel, was to go sleep at a homeless shelter. That was gonna be my only option, until I had someone call me up and their parents offered me to stay with them until I got on my feet. But before they even called, like, if that person hadn't called, I would have been at a homeless shelter within the next couple days. Like, I'm not on here telling y'all. I'm not on here telling y'all bullshit. I'm not on here telling y'all this stuff. Like, I've really been through things. I've been through all of this. Y'all are not alone. Like, the point of this podcast, the point of Twisted 20s, yes, our 20s are twisted because this is the time we are truly finding ourselves. This is the time that we are truly planting into our lives what we want to happen in our 30s, our 40s, our 50s, whatever it is. Like, this is the start of it. And now I have such a much larger vision for Major Comeback. And I'm just thankful for it. I've been more grateful towards my life. I've been more grateful towards everything. Just my situation, everything that's been happening, the little things that are happening that I'm seeing, even the things that I'm not seeing. I'm grateful for those. And I'm just going to keep nurturing and watering the plants that I have in my life, and that I have been sowing into my life, the seeds that I have been planting. And if you didn't listen to the last episode, planting into your life is when you do things to make changes to your life. And when you act on the things that you want to happen. Starting that business, that's planting a seed. But nurturing it is continuing to care for that business, continuing to pursue that business, doing things to help your business grow. But anyway, so next week we're going to have part 3 of the Plant, Nurture, and Heal series. And I think I'm going to call it Heal/Grow. Yeah. So we're going to have that for next week. And I just want y'all to know that if y'all are following me on my journey in the beginning, on my Twisted 20s, and on my YouTube and Instagram, I just appreciate you so much for following me. Every time that you listen to my podcast, that means so much to me, and I appreciate you for following me along on my journey. And I want you to know that you are loved and appreciated, and that you too can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Anything that you want in this life, you can go and get it because you deserve it. And you deserve to give yourself a major comeback. And with that being said, peace, love, and blessings. T. Louise.